happy Wednesday. I hope that you're all having a really beautiful day. I wanted to speak to a topic that came up in a counselling group that I'm in. The question was, how and where should I be marketing to my audience, to potential clients who might need some support or perhaps even want to book in for an appointment? I think there's a lot of overwhelm in our community. There's a lot of, myths, and there's a lot of misinformation around what you need to be doing. And I understand that a lot of therapists are putting themselves under a lot of pressure to be posting everywhere: email, podcast, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, you name it. They're thinking that they have to be on it. And, the feedback is that this energy is just very heavy, very draining. It's hey Martha, how you going? It's taking, time, and it's just not enjoyable. And, beyond that even, they're finding that the engagement is low, or they're being told that they're inspiring, but this isn't converting into bookings, there's no new clients, there's no new inquiries coming through, and they're wanting to know why that is. Well, there's probably about 20 mistakes that are really common in our industry for counsellors, psychologists and social workers to be making when they post. But I'll share 3 today because I think most of us will be able to relate to these at some point. I think the first mistake is thinking that you need to be everywhere. You don't. You need to be where your clients are. So, for example, I know my clients, like you guys, are mostly on Facebook. I'm not going to be generating any, if my intention is to get bookings or work or something like that. We all might have a different intention. But I know my audience tend to live on Facebook. I know if I post on LinkedIn or Instagram or, all of that sort of stuff, they're not really going to be there. So you have to understand where your audience is, okay? If your audience is mothers of primary school age children, there's probably not much point posting on LinkedIn. Okay, you need to understand where mothers of primary school age children are spending their time, and they might be on Facebook and they might be listening to podcasts. So you might choose to focus your energy there. My advice would be find the platform that your audience use the most, master that. Master it means, give it 6 months or 12 months before you go adding extra layers onto your social media, okay, or onto your marketing plan. Choose one platform first, master that, get it right. Getting it right means more engagement, more comments, more bookings, more conversions. The second thing is stop posting generic content. This is a huge way to allow your practice to be absorbed into the white noise of the world. So thinking about your potential clients, they might be, on Instagram or Facebook or reading your emails or listening to podcasts. But if you're just posting generic content, why would they keep listening to you when they can get this information from anywhere? What makes you different? And I believe that, it's not necessarily about finding a niche or anything like that. I think it's about you speaking your truth, and it's about you having a voice and being confident and feeling safe to share that voice. We all just about deal with anxiety and depression and confidence and things like that. But at the same time, we all address it differently. We all work differently with clients, even if we're trained in the same therapeutic modalities, even if we're trained in equally in CBT, we'll all deliver it a little bit differently. So understand what your voice is, and don't be afraid to speak it, because that's what's going to draw clients to you, and it will help you be more easily identified, okay? Having a voice is stronger than having a logo when it comes to creating connections with a cold audience, and a cold audience is somebody who's never heard of you before. Logos and colors and things like that, they're great, but they're a long-term game. Branding is a long-term game. But if you're looking to get bookings, you need that connection first, okay? And that's going to come through your message. The third thing is a lot of practitioners make their website, their podcast, their posts, their emails about themselves. At my practice, we are doing, we see clients that, and they're losing sight of the fact that they're not talking with their potential client. They're not talking with that potential audience. And it's kind of like, even now on this video, I'm talking, I like to think I'm talking with you, but I'm only talking with you if you're replying in the comments. Otherwise, it's me giving you a lecture. And nobody really wants to listen to a lecture. It's the same experience for your clients. They don't want to hear all about you. They've got some key questions that they're looking for you to answer, like, can you make this go away? Can you make me feel better? How long is it going to take me to feel better? How quickly can you make it go away for me? And why should I come and see you over somebody else? And here's the thing, if you're not answering those questions, they're just going to click onto the next website, swipe onto the next post, and they'll end up working with somebody who says, hey, I see you, I hear you, I can't imagine what it must be like, to be in your shoes, but here's how I can help you, and here's what I think I can, and here's what you can expect when we work together. Yes, it's going to be hard, there's no magic wands, but I'll be with you shoulder to shoulder every step of the way. That lands more than somebody writing a post all about, 3 ways to, breathe through a panic attack. Yeah, it's about that connection, and it's about you taking yourself out of the equation and making your posts, making your website, your podcast, everything has to be for your client, about your client, to the client's problem. It's got to be all about them, less about you. And here's the other thing. When I work with, sorry, that sounded horrible, didn't it? Here's the other thing. I just meant before I forget, before I forget. If you have a website and you have an About Me section, I would love for you to drop that all together. It's very outdated. In our industry, it's probably really irrelevant. Clients aren't that interested in who we are. They're interested in themselves and their pain in the moment. And you have to remember, when they're at the point of looking for a therapist, they probably should have got one a long time ago, many of them, not all, but you and I both know, it takes them a lot. It's a huge step to even be looking at a website, let alone book an appointment, right? But when you've got an About page, I think that that's really outdated now, and I don't feel that you're giving yourself the best chance of connecting with a client with that. What I would suggest you do is drop that all together, and I would encourage you to do something like replace it with, my origin story, our origin story, or just origin story, and just write a narrative of why you do the work that you do. Let them know who you are. Say, I live on the Mornington Peninsula with my dog, and we love walks on the beach. But also talk with them about why you took this journey. And you don't have to say you invested all your time and money, but show them why you did, why it was important to you. Say, I know what it was like. I needed help at one point too, and I had a really good therapist, and that's why it became important to me. Could see the value of it, and so I've spent my life, building a career to help people because I wanted to give back. And now here I am, and I'm ready, and I'm available, and I'm here to give back to you. So an origin story, a narrative, connects more deeply with an audience because they get to follow your journey. Of course, those of you who've done the training, you know about oxytocin. It's like the love drug, the attachment drug, the bonding drug. So they form that connection with you, and then they're going to be more likely to feel those elements of liking you, trusting you, knowing you. And that's a deeper connection than looking at a resume on someone's About page, right? So if you still want to have the About section, I would add it as like, an afterthought after you've written the origin story, just almost as a footer. I would just say, about Brooklyn. Brooklyn holds a PhD in counselling psychology and, has been in private practice for 25 years and here's how you can book an appointment. I'm just short and sweet. So yeah, they're 3 tips plus a little bit of a bonus one. So I hope they really, really help you. This morning, a podcast episode has gone out that goes into this in a lot more detail. It's the Private Practice with Soul podcast. I know most of you listened to it already, so you would have got a notification. But for those of you who are new, you can find it on your favorite podcast platform. It's actually been nominated as a featured podcast for April, which is like a little bit of a win I'm celebrating over here as well. So I hope it helps, and if you need any support with that, let me know. We can always jump on a quick Zoom call. Martha, you're still here, yay! Thank you so much. You are so welcome. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and I will see you a bit later. Bye. Thanks so much for watching.